It has been a fantastic season for the PBA, despite a lot of challenges with the pandemic. And today we have a little unfinished business to wrap up for this 2020 PBA Tour season. We're going to be announcing the 2020 PBA Player of the Year. And as we look forward to 2021, I know we all are. It's been a rough 2020. A lot on the horizon for the PBA. The PBA Players Championship coming up in January live on FloBowling. You'll be able to watch the qualifying rounds from all 5 regional events. More information on that available at flowbowling.com. Again, that's January 16th and 17th. And don't miss our new FloBowling documentary, Two Hands on the Future, just out recently. You'll be able to check that out on demand on FloBowling. It's a 45-minute film detailing the rise of two-handed bowling on the PBA Tour. So we want to get right to it here. We've got Tom Clark, the commissioner of the PBA, and Coley Edison, the CEO of the PBA, joining us today. They're going to help us walk through this afternoon, this show, to talk a little bit about our awards and hand out this hardware. Coley, Tom, good afternoon. How are you guys doing? Coley first. Things well with you?
Things are going well. Defrosting from our recent snowstorm, and happy to be here and happy to see everybody.
Tom, how are things in Wisconsin?
It's great. No snow here in Wisconsin. It's a little chilly, but no snow. But always great to be here. Big day for the PBA. Big award to go out today, and a chance to look back at 2020. So we appreciate Flo and appreciate you, Lucas, working on this.
All right, well, we're going to get right to it here. We've got some great highlights. It was really an action-packed season on the PBA Tour in 2020. And so let's take a look back at what transpired this season.
And now he's going to try to cap off the weekend with perfection. Yes! 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 Oh, you got it! Go! On the way! Home! He's going to be a winner! He's got it! And Bill O'Neill wins the 2020 PBA Players Championship!
These certainly are very different times in the sporting world. Probably one of the only live sporting events you'll see today anywhere in the United States.
It's time to celebrate with the family.
To win the first ever PBA Strike Derby, Player.
The Duke becomes the king.
The Duke of Bowling.
Hey, Dave, guess what?
What?
There's a new king, and he has spoken.
Go.
It's in, Joe. Big shot for Prather.
Bill O'Neill just put a big fat $100,000 check into his back pocket.
Put on that belt, Bill O'Neill. You deserve it.
These boys are one more strike away from bringing home the trophy.
Portland, the Lumberjacks, champions again. For the win, 8 or better. West Milan, God, 9. He's got the win.
And Jimmy, the first one to grab him.
So many great moments, so much excitement. Coley, I'm sure that video gives you chills. It was a tough year, but you guys persevered. Tell us a little bit, give us your thoughts on the 2020 season as we wrap up this year.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, just watching all of those winning moments, it obviously, you see a smile across my face the second I see that. It's been a crazy year. And, you know, as Dave Ryan said in the video, we were the last live sport on TV. That feels like a weird place for us to be. But we matched that up with being one of the first live sports to return to TV in June. So I think it speaks to the flexibility and creativity of our organization, and also the dedication of our players. Their trust in us to make sure that we were going to produce live, safe, events for them really meant a lot. And it meant that we would do whatever it takes to make those events happen. So being able to, see us on a roll, I love to use the phrase, and I'm not going to stop punting around. But, the PBA was on a roll up until mid-March. We came to a stop, but then we came back stronger than ever. And to see what we were able to do in the summer, and then with the fall swing, and, Tom worked super hard to get our international players back, and we were able to complete our season. There is really no other sport out there that was live and then had to stop and then came back and did every single event that they were supposed to do. And for the most part, we did that. We did what was in our control. And so I'm really proud. And when I look back, this is my first year in the position. It couldn't have been a crazier year, but I couldn't be more proud of the team that I work with and the work that we've produced.
Tom, it was a difficult year, but a memorable year. What are your thoughts on 2020?
Well, first of all, it's amazing that Tommy Jones 300 game was this year. I mean, when you think about it, it seems like a long time ago, doesn't it? In one way, we were fortunate that the bulk of our season was in January and February. So before, things were really shut down due to the pandemic. And so we were able to get the bulk of our season in and create a lot of great memories before having to go through everything that Coley articulated so well. And one of the things that you remember from the beginning of the year that was really pretty amazing was the scoring in the championship matches. I mean, these were tough shots, and it wasn't like every show was high scoring, but Tommy and then Kyle Troop in Jonesboro, or Sean Rash first in Oklahoma, then Kyle Troop, and then Chris Prather at the TOC. I think the lowest winning score was 280. I mean, it was really unbelievable, the performances that were highlighting the beginning of our season. And so, again, to echo Coley's thoughts, really just a testament to the PBA, the players, our sponsors, Fox, Flo, and the efforts everybody made to get as much done as we could and do everything that we did this year under difficult circumstances. And really proud of it, and proud of the memories that were created by the players this year.
Yeah, and we have a lot of fantastic awards to celebrate this week. Earlier this week, the PBA announced a couple other awards that I want you guys to talk about. Tony Reyes Community Service Award went to Danny Wiseman. Obviously, that's a very special award. We all sort of miss Tony Reyes. We lost him a number of years ago, and this is a great way to honor his memory. And Danny Wiseman's doing great things for the sport.
Absolutely. Yeah. You got to take a deep breath every time you think of Tony. And the award was created in his image to remember what he brought to the PBA and to the sport. And I know that Tony would be very proud of this year's selection. Danny Wiseman, Hall of Fame bowler, one of the great competitors ever, and one of the most exciting and personalities in PBA Tour history. But since he's retired from full time on the PBA Tour, the way that he's grown his youth scholarship event in Maryland is something that every player admires and everyone in bowling appreciates. And so to be able to recognize Danny's efforts, he's raised something like $200,000 in scholarship money for youth bowlers. And besides that, he's always just been someone that helps everybody he meets understand bowling, get better at bowling. He's very giving of his time, great ambassador of the sport. So adding his name to the great list of people that have won the Tony Reyes Community Service Award was awesome thing to do this week.
Yeah, then also announced was the winner of the Steve Nagy Sportsmanship Award, and that was Brad Miller. Coley, I know you're a big fan of Brad and Kyle, and Brad, he's got that camera everywhere he goes. Obviously, the epitome of sportsmanship, right?
Totally. I'm so honored to present Brad with this award. There's no one that I could think about that deserves it even more than him. It's really funny. When we were filming the PBA playoffs, I had a chance to talk to Brad, and I was asking a lot of our players, what's your secret talent? What's the secret superpower that you possess? And his answer was, I'm a great teammate. And I thought that really spoke to the sportsmanship and just how important it is that he is part of this team. He views the PBA players as friends, not enemies, as partners, not opposition. And I think, his place as heading up the players committee is warranted, because he really views this as an organization of people first, and he's a people first sort of guy. And congratulations to Brad Miller for winning this award.
And we usually have a PBA Rookie of the Year award, but that award will not be issued this year. PBA decided not to award that. Instead, everybody who was a rookie in 2020 will be eligible for that award moving forward into 2021. So let's get to it. We're going to introduce our top three vote recipients in the PBA Player of the Year voting. Of course, the voters are all PBA members and veteran bowling writers as well. So in, I believe, alphabetical order, all the way from Australia, where it is very early in the morning there. So Jason Belmonte, thank you for taking the time to join us. We've got Jason Belmonte. Also, Bill O'Neill is with us, and Chris Prather. They are the three who had the most votes in this Player of the Year race. So I want to take a moment to talk to you guys. We'll start with you, Jason. Big year for you. You won a couple of majors, the U.S. Open and the World Championship, as well as the Chameleon Championship, and were at the top of many of the statistical categories for this season. For Jason, what moment sort of stood out for you this season? What was the most memorable moment for you?
Yeah, g'day, Lucas. G'day, everybody. It's hard to really quantify how this year was special, but also very awful. I mean, it's one of those very odd memories, walking down memory lane. I think from the bowling perspective, prior to the pandemic, being able to win the Super Slam, the US Open, a tournament that I'd been chasing for a really long time. That was, just a moment that I will find very, very difficult to forget. But honestly, probably the most impactful moment for me was to actually win the World Championship with Kimberly, Aria, Hugo, and Sylvie in the crowd. And that was, like we were saying, we were the last television show that was live. We had no crowd, but of all the times in all my career to have no one in the crowd except my family, that was a really iconic moment for me. So to be able to give him a hug at the end of it was, yeah, for sure, one of the most special moments of my career.
It was definitely a moment we'll all remember, both those moments, the U.S. Open, of course, and the World Championship with your family there. Jason, good luck to you today. We'll see if you've come away with another Player of the Year award here in just a minute, but we'll move on to your good friend, Bill O'Neill. Bill, Players Championship playoffs, you won a couple titles this year, second in earnings and points to Belmo. How do you recap what happened for you in 2020? You've been on a bit of a hot streak here the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think without question, this is my best season. It had been 10 years in between major victories for me. Winning the U.S. Open was my second title, and it felt like a lifetime ago. And you never know if you're going to get back into that moment where you can hold the trophy at the end of a major, and to do it the way that I was able to do it with doubling in the 10th to win, was really, really special. And then, to cap the year off with a playoff win and come away with that $100,000 was really special. And, for sure my best season.
So Bill, you've been pretty vocal on Twitter in recent weeks. If you do not win today, will you respect the results of this election?
No. Absolutely not. I think it's pretty clear the things that are happening right now inside the vote count, fraudulent. If I lose, only if I lose.
Okay, that's enough.
If I win, everything's fine. Yeah.
Let's move on to Chris Prather. Yeah. Chris, you had a great year as well. You won the TOC. You won the Elias Cup with the Portland Lumberjacks. Also, right near the top in a lot of the statistical categories. What do you think of your 2020, and did you think you put together a Player of the Year type year this season?
Honestly, in comparison to Bill and Jason, no. I think if I would have won the playoffs or maybe won tour finals, then potentially. But with Jason winning 3 titles, Bill winning 2, I don't think it stands up against theirs. And I also think it'd be really funny if we recounted, and then instead of Bill winning, I won, and then he still loses. So then he'd want to recount again, but then we just leave it at me winning, and everyone's happy.
So that being said, were you a little surprised to be in the top 3 finalists for Player of the Year?
Yes and no. Like I thought I had a really good season. I think the other guy that could have been here would have been like Kyle Troop, because he also won 3 times. No majors though, so I think it just came down to I had a really good 2019 and carried it over to 2020, so I think that kind of influenced people a little bit. But I think that the pandemic kind of hindered me a little bit. I'm one of those types of players that once I start getting comfortable in the lanes, I continue to bowl well. And I think if we would have been able to continue to bowl after the World Series instead of having the couple months off, I think it would have been a little bit different. Obviously, we didn't bowl the Masters either this year, so I think that could have been a different story coming into this meeting.
Well, let's hope you carry that momentum forward into 2021, and good luck today, Chris, as we are ready to make the announcement here. Coley, first off, can you just confirm that this is a legitimate vote and that there is no shenanigans going on, so we can make Bill quiet a little bit?
Sorry, I was on mute because I had to mute myself with these comments. I'm here to confirm this has been a legitimate vote. Every vote that was received on time was counted, and we will not do a recount.
All right. With that said, let's go over to Tom Clark, Mr. Commissioner, going to reveal who the 2020 PBA Player of the Year is.
Thanks. I appreciate the opportunity to make this announcement. And I think it's great to have everybody, the top 3 vote getters on this show to be able to spotlight the talent at the top of the PBA Tour and be able to acknowledge the accomplishments of everybody at the top. But the winner, and pretty decisively from the vote, for the 6th time from Australia, Jason Belmonte. And that 6th Player of the Year award ties him with Earl Anthony with 6, and trails only Walter Ray Williams Jr., who won a remarkable 7 Player of the Year awards. So congratulations, Belmo. You did it again.
Yeah, congratulations, Jason. Another Player of the Year award for you. Number 6, I'm going to guess this never gets old. Another win for you. Another great season. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, well, firstly, thank you so much to all the PBA membership and riders who voted for me. Congratulations to Bill and Chris for a great season. It's for sure it makes me really, I don't know, like work harder seeing guys like Bill, Chris, EJ, Anthony constantly, just bowling incredibly. So congratulations to the boys. How does it feel to win number 6? Like you said, it doesn't get old. If anything, it gets better. It's just hearing Tom say to have the same amount as Earl Anthony hasn't registered just yet, but it's pretty special. Now I've got my eye set on Walter Ray. Try and get to that 7th one and then see what happens thereafter. But no, I'm incredibly thrilled. I'm so happy. I can't wait to wake everybody up here in the house to be able to tell them the news.
You've accomplished so much in your career on the PBA Tour. You've won every major. You're the all-time major champion. You've got 25 titles. And so is that 7th Player of the Year now a defined goal for you moving forward?
Absolutely, yeah. And I think if I can be brave and bold enough to say that I even set myself a higher goal of attaining 8 Player of the Years before my career is over, and to be standing alone, which was, I guess, the goal that I had with the major championships once I started to get a little bit closer. And now that I'm this close to the Player of the Year, it's also a huge motivation. But obviously, in order to do that, it's really I can't do this on my own. So I just want to take this opportunity to thank Storm Bowling Equipment, Bill Chrisman, Barbara Chrisman, Dave Sims for everything that they do to support me, all the resources they give to me. Some of those resources are my tour reps, Timmy Mack, Jimmy Callahan, and Sean Ryan. Thank you, boys, for a great year. Very, very much appreciate everything you do for me on and off the lanes. To Vice, Dexter, Coolwick, again, just the support that I have from my sponsors makes it a lot easier for me to throw the ball, knowing that I have a great team of people behind me willing to help me, willing to push me, and willing to give me their resources where they can.
So the path to the 2021 PBA Player of the Year starts next month with the Players Championship, and I'm going to put you on the spot, Jason. It's a difficult decision for you, I'm sure, as to whether you're going to come over to the States and compete in the PBA Players Championship. But will we see you over here next month when we kick off the season with that first major?
Yeah, I literally just made the decision last week. I was talking with Kimberly, explained the schedule. With Australia's quarantining laws when we come home, it makes it really difficult to go and come back, which is what I've always done. I've always gone, and if there was a couple of weeks, I'd come back home and spend time with Kimberly and the kids, and then duck off back. But because of these isolation rules, it looks like the decision we've made is I'll turn up in January, and I'll stick around until the PBA season is done, which will be the longest I've ever been away from home, or for my kids and from Kimberly. So it's not going to be an easy 2021, but you know, we're living in different times right now, so we have to make a few extra sacrifices to do what we love, to do what we need to support our families and to support ourselves. So I will be there in Phoenix, I believe. So at least it won't be snowing. I'll be in one of the warmer climates. So that's nice.
Well, I'm sure you're grateful for all the time that you got to spend with your family in 2020, a lot more than you might have expected. And so we'll look forward to seeing you in 2021 when the Players Championship kicks off live on FloBowling on January 16th and 17th. Thanks, Jason, and congratulations again.
Yeah, absolutely. And if I can I don't want to take up too much more of your time, but I know they're sleeping, and I'll give them a massive kiss and a hug when I wake them up in a minute. But I just want to say a massive thank you to my family. It has been a very weird year. They have seen a lot more of me this year at home. I think they're starting to get used to that fact. So next year is going to be a bit of a shock to the system when I'm gone for 3 or 4 months. But part of the reason why I do so well on tour is because I have the support network here at home. I have the most supportive family that you could ever ask for. It's hard to ever ask anyone to travel as much as I do, but I don't have to ask. They usually are the ones that are pushing me. So I'm very, very keen to run upstairs and wake everyone up.
Thanks, Jason. We appreciate it, and congratulations again. Coley, I just wanted to get your thoughts on the 2021 season. You guys had the big announcement recently about the PBA Players Championship returning in grand fashion. Do you want to just talk a little bit about what you guys have been working on for that?
Yeah, I will unmute myself. We're really excited about the Players Championship. This is a first of its kind, and I want to remind everyone that coming up this weekend, this tournament is open to every single PBA member. We have never had a major that's open to every PBA member. Am I right, Tom? So this is super exciting. I love it. We're putting safety first. So if you don't know by now, what we're doing is that weekend is going to be 5 different regional tournaments. Coming out of those regional tournaments, the top 5 players will join us at our production bubble in Jupiter, Florida, where we will have 5 TV shows. Each of those regionals has a final that will air on TV. And then the 6th one is each winner going against each other, and that will be on Big Fox on February 21st. So we have an action-packed January and February, and it's just the tip of the iceberg. While I can't give too much away yet, I can tell you that we have more broadcast network time than ever. It's going to be a really fun and interesting season. A lot of opportunities for our players to make a lot of money. And we'll be announcing some new sponsors that are coming on board really soon. So there's a lot to look forward to on the 2021 PBA Tour. And we're doing it all for our fans. We love you. So keep tuning in and keep following the PBA Tour wherever you see us.
Tom, I think Coley did a great job of summing things up there, but I'll give you a chance. Anything you want to mention about what's coming up in 2021?
Absolutely. Well, yeah, that Players Championship is going to be really exciting. And the one part of it that's exciting for the players is that it's $1 million prize fund. I mean, it's $250,000 for first place in that event. And so it's going to be really interesting to see who comes out of each region and who advances into that first big Fox show on February 21. But having a chance for fans to follow along and watch those regionals on Flow and keep track of the scoring on PBA.com and then be able to watch the finals of each one of those regions play out on FS1 for 5 straight weeks will be a great lead into the culminating championship event. And so it's a really unique way to start a season, but there's so much that's cool about it. And there's a lot of people out there, as Coley said, the whole membership's invited to enter. And there's going to be a lot of people out there that look at this as a great opportunity to make a name for themselves on the PBA Tour and to win a lot of money. But it's not going to be easy to get through those regions when you look at the strength of field in each one, and when you look at the competitive format of the event. It's 28 games in 2 days on 4 different patterns. And so the survivors out of each one of those regions are going to be very worthy of making it into our TV bubble, and be a cool way to start the year. But yeah, then the rest of the year, and the one thing about the season, to make everybody clear, we're working hard to fill an entire season of 30 different telecasts on Fox, and the PBA Tour finals on CBS Sports Network, and working towards a summer tour. And so while the Players Championship is this unique way to have the first 6 shows, it's not like that's the whole season. I mean, there's so much more to come, and it's all going to be exciting types of announcements. So stay tuned to PBA.com and our social media, and of course you, Lucas, on Flow, because we're getting pumped.
Well, we're excited to see what's ahead in 2021. It's not far. We're going to be just a few weeks away from that PBA Players Championship qualifying rounds. We'll have additional details for you about FloBowling's coverage, but we are planning to stream live from all 5 of those regional sites. But we'll have some more details for you guys coming up soon on FloBowling.com. So make sure you tune in that January 16th and 17th for the PBA Players Championship qualifying. That's going to do it for now. Appreciate everybody tuning in. Congratulations again to Jason Belmonte and the PBA Player of the Year and the other award winners as well. Look forward to seeing everybody in 2021. Want to say thanks to Tyler in the background here helping us out producing this show. I'm Lucas Wiseman. We'll see you next time here on FloBowling.